Thank you for joining us this evening for this episode of Dreamers to Doers. Lisa Saunders and myself, Julie Russell, highlight local individuals who have found meaning and purpose through everyday events and extraordinary actions. Today we have with us April Brunel of April's Balloon Creations, as well as Rochelle Weinrock of Simply Enchanted. They both work with children and families and other various special events, and I find this interesting because much of my practice as a therapist is with youth. And Lisa, you have written children's books.
Right, A Horse, Not an Elevator.
And so I'm excited to have you on the show today, April and Rochelle. April, can you tell us a little bit about your balloon creations?
Sure. April's Balloon Creations is my own business. I started it about 2 years ago.
Hence the name.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure my name was in it. But basically, I do lots of stuff from children's parties where I do little creations, then they can hand out to all the kids, like party favors.
Like what? Like show us what some
like
of
the
these
Little
are.
Mermaid.
Oh, that's what that
And
is.
the Little Penguin. So I do a little bit better than the typical balloon dog or balloon poodles. I do those, but I like to do the little bit more, glamorous balloons, like big hats and cool stuff, like little flower bracelets and flower headbands and things.
Now, do you have the penguin because of the aquarium here? So is that like a big hit?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
These two are definitely for the girls and the boys, because boys love the penguins. They love these too. And then we do aliens and all kinds of stuff, dinosaurs, you name it, you can do it.
And mer people.
Yes.
How would you even know how to do a dinosaur? How do you know how to do certain things?
Lots and lots of practice. I've been practicing. I've had the business for 2 years, but I've been twisting for a total of 4 years. So I didn't want to go in front of anybody and twist until I hit the 2-year mark. I didn't feel like I could do it.
So let me understand the lingo. Twisting is when you blow the balloons up. I assume you use a hand pump of some sort.
Yes.
And then you twist them into various shapes.
Correct.
And they are hits for children and adults alike, I imagine.
Oh yes, it doesn't matter. I've done 90th birthday parties, corporate events,
So
all
what
ages.
is it? What do 90-year-old and corporate people ask for?
The same thing as the children ask for. I get that a lot. Like, people are like, what would you make them? Anything, because everyone's a kid at heart.
Birds and a heart.
The older ladies love the flower bracelets and the flower necklaces and rings. You can do little cute rings.
Okay, so you do jewelry as well as, we just have to comment on this dress here.
Yes.
So you, I imagine, started with animals, bracelets, and then one day you were bored and thought, I'll make a balloon dress?
Yeah,
How
sure.
did that work out?
Well, I started getting bigger and better. Started to make life-size sculptures, life-size princesses, life-size horses.
Totally out of balloons?
Totally out of balloons.
Oh, wow.
And then I went to a big convention in Florida and I saw balloon dresses and I was blown away and I said, I have to do it.
So you were hooked.
I was hooked. So that's where this started, the balloon dresses.
Now, how did you get this model here? Tell us how you guys met and what you do together.
Well, I'll let Rochelle explain that because she hasn't said anything yet. But
Your company is Simply Enchanted, Rochelle.
Yes.
And it's my understanding that you went to college for drama and work as an actress. Can
Yes.
you tell us a little bit about that and then segue into how you met April?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
I actually graduated from CCSU with a
What's
BFA,
CCSU?
Central Connecticut State University, with a BFA in acting. And
Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Yes, and I've been singing since I was a kid as well. So I started my company about 3 years ago now, and I do birthday parties and special events, and mostly birthday parties, but I also do some classes, just little things that parents can bring their kids to. They can meet the princess, songs, stories, games, all sorts of fun stuff. And April and I met at the Taste of Mystic She was on one side of the field and I was on the other. She had a huge line because she was twisting balloons, and some little girls kept bringing up the little Rapunzel balloons to me. And they were like, look, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's me.
So you were dressed as Rapunzel
Yes,
that day.
I was dressed as Rapunzel that day, and April's husband, Bill, came over to get my business card because both of us were just so busy that neither of us were able to actually say hello to each other, but we were like admiring each other's work from afar. And we just kind of started seeing each other around and started doing business after hours kind of networking things, and then one thing led to another, and we just decided that our businesses work really well together, and now we're just coming up with all sorts of cool things that we can do, not just for families, but also for corporate events and bigger things.
Yeah.
So would you like stand there and sing in your dress if somebody wanted you? Like, what are the kinds of things you would do dressed in your balloon?
In the balloon dress, well, we work on whatever theme of the evening or the event is. So, I could just be standing there and directing people wherever they need to go, or just being available for pictures or signing autographs should they want that. But as a singer, we could also, do a set of a performance too. So we have a lot of options.
And then, of course, I'd be there, so I'd be making little balloon corsages and things, and then people would love to put them on and take pictures. So it's a nice photo op for people who are going to a party or an event, and something they won't forget for a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
What a terrific way for your partnership to work together and also help promote events in southeastern Connecticut. So much is going on in this area. I know that the schools release the children on the 19th and 21st of this month, June. And then for adults, there's a lot going on. You, Lisa, are doing something, I believe, June 20th?
Yes, on Thursday, June 20th at the Groton Senior Center, I will be doing the How I Wrote Mystic Seafarers Trail, what came up, the kind of dead people I met, living adventurers I met, and I'll just be sharing how that all came about. And then on Saturday...
So you're on a panel with local authors.
No, I'll just
there?
be the only local author
You're
there.
The only local
Yeah, they're
author
having
there.
a series, one a month.
Okay.
So on June, and then Saturday at Groton Library. A lot of people ask me, how do you publish a book on Amazon? How do you do an ebook? So I'm giving a class, a free class, at 11 o'clock on Saturday.
On June 22nd, you
Yes.
are giving a class to understand Amazon publishing.
Yeah, how to publish on Amazon.
Terrific. And April,
Yeah, how about you guys?
Yes, we have something coming up on Thursday, actually.
Yeah.
Be really
Well,
fun.
we just did our first big event with a balloon dress was Fusion over at the Velvet Mills in Stonington Borough. And it was such a hit that that's kind of how we decided to really move forward with our balloon
Is
dress
that what
hostess.
you were wearing at
I was actually Snow White.
Okay.
So that was really exciting.
and today you are.
Today I am Rapunzel. And next on Thursday, June 27th, from 7 to 10 p.m. is Give and Glam. It's a girls' night out at Belmar in Newport on Goat Island. And we're kind of not releasing who I'm going to be, but she's a very strong and powerful woman. And it's a really fabulous girls' night out. So
Yes. And it's not a
everybody,
typical
yeah.
princess.
no,
So
it's
that
not a
helps with
typical
the
princess. It's
glitter.
not a Disney princess or anything like that. So
I know I'm not familiar with too many of the princesses, even though I work a lot with youth. And so I'll be interested to hear who you will be. Then, April, you also provided some artwork for a local author.
Yes, I did. Dr. Julie Wakely, she has books that she's been publishing, and she recently did a children's book called My Nosy Rosie. And she asked if I knew any illustrators, so I laughed and said, well, not really, but I used to draw. And she's like, well, can you give me a sample? And I said, yeah, sure. So I did a little sample of a dog and gave it to her, and she loved it. So I ended up illustrating her whole book for her.
It always amazes me. I've lived in this area of Connecticut for over 2 years now. There is so much local talent and so many individuals who have found ways to express their creative sides. I would like for you to do a demonstration, but I also think it's important that we take a public service announcement that will give us a little bit to get ready. So what do you think you'll show us in the demonstration?
Well, I could definitely show you a little bit of the weaving technique of how to go about and make a dress like this out of balloons. And I could also show you how to make a cute little flower bracelet.
Terrific. I think the flower bracelet is interesting.
While we wait for our public service announcement before it starts rolling, maybe you could say how you even started this, why you started this.
I actually started it on a whim. I just looked to my husband and said I want to do balloon animals, and he just laughed at me. And he said, why? And I said, I don't know, it seems like it'd be fun.
And you were out of work, right?
Well, yes, I
Or-
was out of work. I was contracting short little contract jobs, and then I'd be unemployed and then doing contract jobs. And then I got kind of wanted something to keep my spirits up. So I decided to just do that, and I figured my son would like it too.
They're fun.
Yes. And then it just didn't stop, and it became an obsession almost, where I wanted to keep learning and keep doing, and I wanted to do bigger, better things. And I've not looked back. So now I'm just doing balloons full time and very busy with it.
Balloon jewelry, balloon animals,
Yes.
balloon wardrobe.
Yes, balloon anything.
Well, we're waiting for that public service announcement so that you can demonstrate something.
Why did you choose Rapunzel today, Rochelle?
Why did we choose Rapunzel today?
Because she's fun.
She's fun. She actually is my most favorite character to play. I feel like she's kind of the most like me in terms of personality. And I mean, really, she's got long hair. It's pretty awesome.
That she lets down.
Yeah.
All right, terrific.
I don't know when this announcement's going to come, so I don't know if Oh, yeah.
In all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through. In that small cafe, the park across the way, the children's carousel, the chestnut tree, the wishing well. I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you.
Hello, thank you for joining us of the second half of this episode of Dreamers to Doers, where Lisa Saunders and I, Julie Russell, host varying individuals in southeastern Connecticut who have found ways to make their dreams turn into their reality. Today, as we said earlier, we have April Brunel with April Balloon Creations,
Yes,
sorry.
it's okay.
And Rochelle Weinrock with Simply Enchanted. They partner together for corporate events, family reunions, birthdays, and children's shows of all kinds. And April, Rochelle, you're going to show us a little bit about twisting animals
Yes.
and balloon wardrobe.
Yes. Well, as you can see, she's wearing a beautiful balloon dress, and they take a long time to make. This one took about 4.5 to 5 hours to make.
How
Now, does
many
the air-
balloons?
What's that?
How many balloons did you use?
I probably used close to 200 balloons.
So how does the air stay in there?
Oh,
How long?
they're twisted in there. Yeah, this balloon dress will last a good day, like this, so she could wear it all day. Tomorrow it'll get a little smaller. She could probably still wear it, but then after that, forget it. It gets really, really
So
small.
you have to keep doing this over and over again?
Well, these are like a one-time event only things.
Oh my
These are
gosh.
pieces of art.
Well, that's
And-
why we can do any kind of a character or anything on a whim, because it's just kind of what's your theme, and then you kind of just
It's not
make
so
it up for that.
whimsical though if it takes
Yeah.
like 4 hours, 5 hours to make a dress, right?
But that's
Wow.
part of the fun of it, though.
Yes.
I mean, you're not going to find a lot of people who can do it because
Right.
it is time.
Right, it's involved.
It sounds like an sculpture.
Yes, exactly.
It's good when it first comes out, but then it might melt away.
So you enjoy it while you have it. It's a temporary art form.
Yep.
And then if you can see in the back, there's little buttons in the back. That's how she can get in and out. So we have buttons that run all the way down. And then I just figured I'd show a quick example of how the weaving is done. So I will just show quickly. I'll just show right here, and excuse the squeaking, 'cause that's part of it. We'll try to be as least squeaking as I can.
Ah.
Rochelle, you must have to sing in tune to the squeaking.
Well, I build it off on a dress form, and then I
Right.
put her in it, so she doesn't have to deal with the squeaking.
I don't have to stand there for 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
Phew.
So basically, they're woven. So you have
Oh, wow.
pieces that go down, and then you have the pieces that go across. And then you just keep working your way, but you have to size your bubbles the correct way so it comes in at the waist and out at the hips, but you don't want it to come out here. So you got to make sure you keep that flat.
Still want it figure flattering.
Yeah.
So I just have to ask, have balloons popped when you've been wearing one of the balloon dresses?
No,
No.
no. I've had people say I'm going to come back with a pin,
Right.
but
you don't get too close to the
nobody's
fire.
followed through with that. And I think even if they were to do one pin, it wouldn't affect.
No, if one button popped, the rest wouldn't because they're all twisted in there.
Yeah. Now, if somebody just wanted a dress for themselves, just for fun, how would they just give you their measurements and you would know what to do?
Exactly. I would
Wow.
need their measurements, and then I would make sure that my mannequin would be able to handle that. And I would have different mannequins for different sizes, and then I would need to know what their ideas for a design would be, what colors, how
Wow.
long they want it. If they want a cocktail dress, it's going to be slimming. If they want it like this, it's going to come out. So they're all little things that you have to ask.
Well, it certainly would be one of the most original dresses.
Yes. Yes, and
Wow.
I have had people inquire about prom dresses and wedding dresses.
Really?
So you never know.
Right. You know, I do an event based on my book, Ride a Horse, Not an Elevator, and I'm showing them little horses and horseshoes and hoof care on top of writing, you know, how I came to write that book. Is that something you could do? Is like if somebody wanted us as a package, you could come and make horses to
Oh,
give
definitely.
to people. Okay.
Oh yes, definitely.
So
I've
that's
done
interesting.
little horses to a huge horse that we used at the Mystic Village one day for photo ops for all the kids.
Ah, okay, that's interesting. So really, you could partner with authors or anybody. Here you're partnering with an actress and a singer. So you could partner with other people that have events where they, you know, somebody wants something unique.
Oh yes, you can even do children's shows, library shows that teach a lot of things with balloons and keeps the kids' attention span.
Now, Julie, as a therapist, is there anything called balloon? You know, you hear of art therapy. Is there anything called balloon therapy and what you would use it for?
I think it comes down to just a basic concept of repeated positive connections. The more times an individual who might be having an emotional or behavioral problem is able to have fun and laugh, the more likely that person is to continue to find kind of happiness and joy in different things. I know in my office we have lots and lots of different toys and tools, and some of them are found at Walmart: Play-Doh, Silly Putty, paints, crayons, and others are specific to therapeutic stores. But because we work with a lot of children and families, we have many things that kind of ease people into the therapeutic process and promote healing.
Now, would there ever be like some sort of therapy program where you and April would get together for a group, say, of children who lost somebody, or I don't know, is there any those kind of therapy organizations that provide sessions like that, where you two would band together and do something like that?
I believe perhaps in a psychoeducational setting where you are able to teach somebody how to make something with a balloon, or just that balloons are fun, that in itself can be a positive thing. So yes, there's always room to learn fun things.
Definitely.
April, how do the children and people react to, I guess the question goes to both of you, to both your business, April's Balloon Creations, and Rochelle, Simply Enchanted?
Well, I can tell you that's the main reason why I decided to make it a job instead of a hobby, was the reactions. Because when you make a little dinosaur or whatever you're making and you hand it to that little boy or little girl and their face lights up and they smile and they don't even know what to say, it's you can't get anything better than that. That's the best feedback there is in the world. You've just made their day. And now they have something and they go and they want to show it off. And you feel like a hero.
Right.
And
You've
then you have
given
somebody
them
else come up and now
something to
you're their
show.
hero. So it's kind of like little fandom. So it's really fun.
So you've been able to have an entire business making people happy.
Exactly. And I
giving
know
them
Michelle does the
something to
same
show
thing.
off.
I know, like it's just because you always hear about out of work actors, but not you. You took your skills and your passion, and you're creating something that people want to buy.
Yeah, I'm not waiting around, you know, to get cast in such and such show. I'm calling the shots, and
Right.
I'm doing what I want to do. And you know, to me, I feel like I'm better as a princess than other certain characters. Like it's just it's just my niche. That's what, you know, like you find that thing that you're good at.
Right.
And that's kind of what I found and then I just continue to build on it. And yeah, I get the cutest reactions from the kids. It just, you know, there's some days where there's some kids where you're just like, oh my God, really? And then there's other days, most, I would say 99.9% of the time, you're just like, this is why I do what I do. This is why, you know, I stress and I work really hard to make it as perfect as possible because that look on that little kid's face. You know, just the other day, the cutest thing ever, a little 3-year-old girl. I was going to leave, I was Rapunzel, and I didn't teach her to curtsy or anything like that, and she looks at me and she just goes, "Your Majesty," and she does a little curtsy, and I was like, did she just... She did. Her mom was flabbergasted. We have no idea where she even came up with "Your Majesty." It wasn't something that I said. It wasn't something. It was just, you know, things like that where the looks on their faces. It's just, yeah, it makes you want to keep going and work harder to just make it that much more magical and that much more special for them.
Now, do you guys go to schools? Or are you going to plan to start trying to go to schools? Or how
Yes,
does
we're
that
actually
work?
working on a show for the Groton Fall Festival.
Oh.
And we're hoping to build off of that to go into schools and stuff because not only will we have a princess, but I'm thinking of building a big balloon puppets as well.
She can like.
So
wear
you're going to
them.
actually do a show, like what, every 10 minutes a new show starts or
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. That is wonderful
It'd
idea.
be like an interactive story with,
Yes.
with singing. You know, I'll sing and she'll probably be doing some
Puppetry.
fun puppetry and twisting some props or
Oh,
something
yeah,
that the
sure.
kids can use. So it'll be a
Oh,
really
what a
cool
great-
Pull
interactive.
the kids up on the stage,
Yeah.
give them some balloon props, and let them take part in it.
Interactive skill.
I bet a lot of people are going to be inspired watching this show. Like, okay, I can do something
I think
like
they're
that.
going to
can, you just
immediately
find that
go and say,
niche.
wait, I want this for my daughter's birthday party or my daughter's Summer's Here festival.
Well, basically, you can do anything you want to do. I came from working in a pharmaceutical company and contracting, and I just was not happy with it. And then I moved into this, and I couldn't be happier.
So it really is like the Wizard of Oz. The power is always within you.
Yes.
You just have to find it.
Exactly.
And work for it.
Exactly.
Have you told your college that this is what you do? Have you kept in
Yeah,
touch
I
with
did
them?
tell some of my professors because, you know, when you leave, they don't know what you're going to do.
Right.
The prospects in New York are very scary. I mean, it's like slim to none.
Well, you should also, I write for in campus communications. I still do that as a side job. They're my client, and I am always looking for alumni that are doing interesting things so we can feature them in the newsletter. So what you want to do is contact your college's campus communications department is what you would ask for. And if they might have some other name, but just tell them, you know, I'm an alumni. You may be looking for somebody that can provide interesting images. This is a business I started. Would you be interested in using me for your newsletter or on your website? And don't be shy about it because, like I said, as working for a college, we're always looking for the interesting alumni, especially when they do something visual, because then it makes our newsletter pop. It makes people pick up the newsletter. Oh, what an interesting picture.
Right.
So don't be shy, and same thing with you. You know, just you need to tell people that are behind you what you're doing because they just may need a story, and you may be the story.
Right. And I know my university, I went to Tulane down south, they have alumni organizations in New York and Connecticut and Boston, all over, even though we're about 1,500 miles away from New Orleans.
Yes. So no matter where you went to school.
So is that dress warm, thinking about New Orleans in the summer?
It's a little warm. I feel like I'm getting a nice little hug.
But it weighs
Yeah.
nothing. So.
Yeah, it's very light, and you can move around. Obviously, I make a lot of noise. You can tell when I walk in a room, but
But it stretches.
but it stretches and it's very forgiving.
So, but you would prefer an event in air conditioning if you had your choice during the summer.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be
I think
great.
anybody would.
Yeah, well, of course they would.
This is
Now-
probably cooler than some of my other costumes, so
Yes.
I'm okay.
I would imagine that this is a busy season for both April's balloon creations and Simply Enchanted.
Yeah, especially
must
now
have
with the
a-
kids coming out from school.
Yes, and you have the event on the 27th in Newport, Give and Glam, and then,
My events, is that what
yes,
you're not
Lisa.
kindly asking me about my events?
Yes, you
We'll be
have-
speaking about Mystic Seafarers Trail and the people I met, interviewed, and like I said, and the dead people as well, because I went and found some original files and resources. So I'll be talking about that at the Groton Senior Center Thursday, June 20th, and then on Saturday teaching how to, like somebody like you guys might be interested in writing a book on what you do. It can be as little as 24 pages, and you can create a softcover book on Amazon free. It doesn't cost you anything, and you have a book, of talking about your lives or your story and how you do what you do. And you can make an ebook. You can even make an ebook for free on a different site. These are things that I also teach. And we have like 1 minute left, so is there anything else we should cover?
I just want to say thank you. Both you, Rochelle Weinrock, April Brunel, both of you truly are examples of how talents in southeastern Connecticut have become ways you can make money, how you have found meaning through everyday events. Do you have anything else?
No,
just,
just
you
keep
can
having fun.
I
do
just love that you
anything
guys
you wanna
found
do.
each other, that you
Yeah,
so
we
much
became really good friends.
more
Yes.
fun to, because I know as a writer, Jules and I partner on things, even though we have such different careers. Her as a therapist, me as a writer, yet somehow we found a way to work together, and it's nicer when you're on your own.
Well, it helps a lot because you can bounce ideas back and
Right.
forth. We each have our, our own businesses where we're alone, and now we
Right.
can partner together and
Yeah.
come up with
Wow.
even better ideas.
Keep dreaming and making sure
Yes.
those dreams become a reality.
Well, thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us.